from SteelersDepot.com, and just kind of decided to do this. It's real late here. It's about a little after 2:30 in the morning, but I was just reading some comments, and I'd gone through the game, the coaches tape, obviously from this Baltimore Ravens game, an ugly offensive performance by basically every metric, but I was reading some comments, and I was really sitting there thinking, what did Todd Haley do wrong? How did the game get to this point? And how much of it is on Todd Haley, and how much of it is on, Ben Roethlisberger? Uh, and the preface, obviously, no one played well. When you're a team that is shut out through the first three quarters, and you get a lot of points in your hurry up, catch up stuff, and you score just 14 points in general. You didn't have a good day. Ben Roethlisberger didn't have a good day. Le'Veon Bell did not have a good day. Antonio Brown did not have a good day. Todd Haley did not have a good day. This is not your gold standard, put it on the resume kind of game for anyone involved. So let me preface with that. But the thing that bothers me sometimes, and the reason why I was sitting here again right now around 2:30, saying, should I make this video now? When I just decided to do it off the cuff, or should I wait in the morning, or just not do it at all because maybe people don't care, and what they think is what they think, and we move on. But the thing that bothers me is, I'm all for blaming coaches. I think it's tough to do. It's hard to quantify the work that they put in is stuff that we can't see at all. They're Monday to Saturday people, largely, setting your game plan, and to understand why they do things and why they adjust to things and what they're seeing and they're thinking. There's a lot of Monday to Saturday kind of stuff, and that is true for players as well. But at least players are on the field. You have a much easier, though by no means easy, gauge of them. But I know I'm ranting here a little bit and rambling, but I just, people say he's predictable. People say he did this wrong. He did that wrong. But it's all seemingly vague, and there's rarely any specificity with it. And you know me, I'm a details guy. I'm a solutions guy. And just saying that Haley was too predictable, or that he was run, pass, or whatever kind of the trite cliches that I think are common and easy to accept. But for me, and hopefully you, if you're watching this video right now about Todd Haley, I'm guessing you care about details. I'm guessing you're like me. These are things that don't really offer any solution. They're meaningless. They're meaningless words. Are they even true? And so I wanted to go through that without really any bias. I had Todd Haley on my losers list right after the game. That's just a kind of first gut reaction to a situation. Um, so I just started going through the coach's tape again just to really focus on Todd Haley, and I'm gonna go through most of the negative plays here from Pittsburgh, and some of them are definitely on Todd Haley. There's things I don't like about him. I've talked about it a little bit in the past, both before this Ravens game and after this game, of course. But let me, because how many minutes I'm into this? I'm already 3 minutes into this. Um, what the first point I want to make is that run pass, which I think is kind of the line is blank that everyone holds on to for dear life when they don't like what an offensive coordinator did. And I understand. I was saying as well. I think they probably ran the ball too much. Though, if you listen to them talk, they were, Mike Tomlin and Haley himself, they were trying to do some things to protect Ben Roethlisberger because he wasn't 100%. And so you have to understand that they're trying to protect their investment, and you can disagree with it, and I have and will as well. The Ravens are extremely tough, run defense. They probably did run the football too often, but to the specific idea of run pass, I went through it, and you can check me if I'm wrong. I was doing this 10 minutes ago, and it's late. I'm tired, but I only saw 3 instances of 15 drives the entire game for the Steelers offense where they started a drive with 2 runs and then a pass. Three the entire game. That's 20%. Considering you have a quarterback that's pretty banged up coming into that game, and didn't get the full complement of reps. I don't think that's an unusual number. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't have any data for this one, but I think if you go back and look at any game in particular, I'm going to guess maybe 20% of the drives were run, and then they threw a pass. And then who knows what happened from there. So the idea, and I thought maybe as well, it probably happened 7 or 8 times when I was watching the game live, but go through it with me here, or go through it on your own and see how many times they were run pass. And I have 3 of 15. Now, late in the game changed the circumstances, but still, it's not a big number. It's not 7 or 8. It's not what they did the entire time. And I'm going to go through some of these plays here just because I think, and let me get to my main idea here. My main takeaway is that Haley had his problems, and we'll go through them. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. How can you after a terrible loss like this? But I think it was 10 times more on Ben Roethlisberger than it was on Todd Haley. Ben was just bad. I mean, it was as bad as I honestly not trying to be uh issue hyperbole here. I was gonna say hyperbole. That's Dave's favorite thing, but I don't want to be too over the top. But I think it was as bad as Ben's ever played in his NFL career, ever. And even in games, where he was clearly not healthy at all, and it really affected him. He was pretty healthy in this game, but just any game, I don't care what it is, healthy or not, don't grade it on a curve, don't grade it on health. It was as bad as he's ever played. He came out of his shell a little bit late in the game, but by that point things were kind of over. And we're gonna go through some of that here. So I'll kind of play with the play because I like to have a full screen here for both of us to get to see this. But here's we're gonna go through some of the negative plays here, and this might be a little bit longer a video. I'll try to go through them quickly. So if you have some time, a lunch break or something, or if you can just listen to the audio and then maybe get to the video later, we're gonna go through this. But this is the first play of the game. It's a pass. They're in empty. They started in empty in this game, and everyone says it was run pass and hyper conservative. But the first play of the game got a lot of problems here. And I think a lot of this is receiver based. Jesse James had a rough game. And I didn't realize this is basically the first time he's ever played against Baltimore. He played 7 snaps in the Week 16 game last year. Didn't play a snap. I don't think he was even active for the Week 4 game. So this was his first taste of Baltimore. And they roughed him up a good bit. He had the one nice catch that was negated by AB's penalty, that illegal formation where he covered him up. But other than that, the first like 3 drives of this game, and you'll see him. We'll go through them. James is on the ground like 3 different times. I mean, and this is how they set the tone early here for Baltimore. Here's Terrell Suggs. There's Jesse James. And on the snap, you'll see what happens. I mean, that's just that's a nasty chip by T Sizzle, and then Moses is going to come in on Bell. So now James has fallen down and been knocked down, shoved down. He's kind of out of his rhythm. Now the check down option for Bell potentially, it's going to get taken away. There goes Bell. That's legal. Quarterback's leaving the pocket. And that might even be still within 5 yards. Legal all around. Suggs, and this was Suggs in mostly legal plays. But there goes James. Screwed up there. There goes Bell. Screwed up there. Nothing really open for Benny. Throws the football away. That's not on Haley. Those are guys just getting dominated. That's just, Ravens setting the tone early. Next drive. This was a run pass. This was one of the 3. But they did get put in a 3rd and 5. So, I mean, that's 3rd and manageable. That's what Haley said they wanted to do. They wanted to be in a decent situation. And 3rd and 5, it's not bad. It opens the playbook for you. I like AB in the slot. That's nice by Haley. Haley moved him around all game long. That was smart. But here, there's a chance for this, but the pressure is immediate, and so Ben just got to kind of throw a go ball to DHB. And, Finney screwing this one up. Ben was talking about the snap being early, I think it was, and Villanueva doesn't get out of his stance. There's Villanueva here. There's Finney at center. And so Suggs dusts Villanueva, and, there's the pressure. Ball's going to come out immediately. It's not really on Haley. I mean, if anything, you could say for Tomlin, because Finney doesn't get enough reps, but that's another discussion for another time. I mean, there's counter arguments to that. But there's Suggs, Billy in a stance, too late. Nothing you can do there. That's not on Ben either. That's just, that's a, 101 kind of stuff, the center, quarterback exchange, and the snap count. But you're on the road, you're on a silent count. Some of the headaches that you're going to get there making a change, mid-drive like that. It's not like you had a whole couple minutes in between series to kind of figure things out. So next drive starts with a pass. They actually start with a couple passes. So this is not run pass. It's going to be an incompletion to Jesse. And you tell me if you think any of this is on Haley. I mean, you let me know in the comments below. But just so, James is open in the flat. Basically, I think they're running cover 2 here. The Ravens are. You're trying to reroute the release. So James is going to be open in the flat. He drops the pass. I mean, that's a 5-yard gain there out of his hands. It's not on Haley. It's not on Ben either. We'll get to some of the issues Ben has because it starts to happen pretty quick. It's a good read by Ben. Ball comes out. James just drops the ball. Welcome to Baltimore, Jesse James. That's your wake-up call. So far, I haven't found anything on Haley. We have a completion to David Johnson, which is a nice play. Get a completion to Jesse James, gain of 6. Get a completion to Bell for 10. They end up running it on 3rd and 4. Yeah, it's a play call I don't even know what this play is. Yeah, I wouldn't really run it 3rd and 4 against Baltimore. So that's on Haley. And I said there were times they probably ran the football too much. But there are some missed blocks. Philly misses the block on Zach Orr. Otherwise, they might have had that Jad Whittle in the hole. So there were some individual breakdowns as well. But yeah, I didn't love that call. But just from a strictly passing sense, was it Ben or was it Haley? I mean, we're focused on passes here. We get a pass interference call here, so it ends up being a good play. Ravens have a nice disguise on this one, but Ben makes a dangerous read, and it's a tough spot to be in. It looks like that the slant's going to be open. Ben's trying to wait for the linebacker to go to the flat, or seem like he's going to go to the flat, and it's going to open up the window on the slant. They hit this later in the game. We might show that, and the linebacker ends up dropping. And so probably Ben should have pulled that football down and hit Kobe in the flat, and you're going to get a nice healthy gain there. Now again, you get the pass interference on this play, so you get the first down anyway. Tough spots, a nice play by Zach Corey. Really good player, really impressive game he had, and he's done well all year long. But it looks like he's going to go to the flat, so Ben thinks, okay, I'm going to hit AB on the slant. But now the linebacker drops, and Ben, it's tough. I know it's easy to do this when I'm watching tape and going frame by frame, but that ball probably has to come down, and I'll go back to the aerial view. Here's Kobe Hamilton motion across as the wing. He's open in the flat. They're both converging on the slant now. If he pulls that football down, he gets Kobe in the flat one-on-one with that Tavon Young. I mean, that's at least another 5 to 7 yard gain. Now again, it works out, but that's on Ben, not on Haley. You can't tell me that's on Haley. And again, it's not totally defending Haley. I had a video against Miami where I said Haley misused and miscast Antonio Brown. And I was like, what is going on? That's not Haley's game at all. He's always moving AB around, and he was so static and stagnant with AB. And I criticized Haley very openly. So it's not me trying to carry Haley's water. We're watching the same play. So now we get into the second quarter. I'm trying to keep this video relatively short, but it's going to be a long one. But if you have some time, it's important. What really happened. I'm giving you specificity. I'm giving you examples. I'm showing you. I'm not even just telling you, yeah, this is what happened. Just go with what I say. I'm showing you. You got so many people out there saying, yeah, this is what happened. Just trust me on this one. All right, here's a play, an isolated situation. 4th and 18 play. People showing the 4th and 18 play saying, hey, what is Haley doing? It's a 4th and 18 play. It's late in the game. They're showing that one saying, yeah, Haley called a bad game. Ridiculous stuff. It's not specific. All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to be transparent. We're going to break this down together. So this is 3rd down play, 3rd and relatively short. And there's a tight window here. But this is on Ben. You got to throw to Sammy Coates. There's one little 5-yard dig. There's a window here. It's a relatively tight window. You got the DB on the outside, linebacker underneath. But that ball's nowhere close. That's at his feet. That's awful. Jesse James on the ground again. Gets bumped. Gets caught up with the linebacker's feet here on the ground. Out of the play. Good shove. Feet tangled up. On the ground. Out of the play. And yeah, you could probably say that Eli Rogers might have been open on the corner. Kind of a snag concept here. You're going to get, that the dig kind of becomes the snag, the curl. You got your corner, you got your flat route. It's a pretty common concept. We see this later with Todd Haley running the snag. But it's not on Haley. That's a throw Ben's got to make. It's a throw elite quarterbacks like Ben, and he makes. Not on Haley. I mean, Ben knows it. He's mad at himself. He should be. Couldn't convert. Next drive. First play's a run, second play's a pass. It's not run, pass. It's not a cliche. Now they get a penalty. The 1st and 25, they're in a tough spot. But you're in empty, so they're not being super conservative. They're starting out in empty. This ends up being a completion to Jesse James. This is one of the good plays. You get some yards back, trying to work your way back into 3rd and manageable. Let's go back to some of the negative plays here. The incompletions, the interceptions. So we're in 2nd and 18. And I just started going through this, so I have to kind of reacquaint myself with some of this. This is a bad decision by Ben. Now, the Ravens have a good defense here. They're playing cover 2. Too deep. Might get in depth. But Ben can't try to throw the seam here. He doesn't see Mosley at all. He's locked in on Eli Rogers. I mean, wait for someone else to get open. It's, I think, a 3-man rush. You can extend that play, start a scramble drill. maybe Bell underneath, or just keep the play going. Don't have to force a throw. Not everything's going to be always open, but Ben knows how to create. He knows that better than almost any other quarterback in the league. Ben can't make this throw. You got Mosley here in the middle of the field, right under the cursor. He thinks that, okay, the DB's trying to wall him, but Rogers has a nice stem and gets over the top, but never sees Mosley. It's not on Haley. That's just a bad read by Ben. It's a forced ball. It's not reading the coverage. So we get I think it's 3rd and 18 here, right, for this next play? Yeah, 3rd and 18. So, I mean, good luck trying to find a play call that works on 3rd and 18. The success rate's probably 5% in these situations. And they actually get a good look here. I think this is a concept they've kind of run before. I think they hit DHB for a touchdown against Kansas City on this. It's a little different than what they did, but similar idea where you're getting DHB in the slot and running the post, trying to flood that cover 3. I mean, for 3rd and 18 to take a big shot like that, I think it's a good decision by Ben. I think the throw was pretty good. It's just, you're throwing the football 50 yards downfield. Your percentage of it working out isn't the greatest, and unfortunately, Heyward Bey gets hurt on the play, but 3rd and 18, take a shot like that. The concept was good. The look was pretty good. Placement a little off. I don't know. I mean, it's not on Haley. 3rd and 18. Who can make a call there? This was another run pass, and I can understand the frustration there, but it was pretty limited. It's 3rd and 8 play. I showed this one. I'm trying to think when I showed this one. This was in my post right after the game. The Ben Roethlisberger's no good, very bad day. 3rd and 8 here. Ben locking on AB. He's got corner, safety, linebacker. There's nothing there. He's staying locked on to him though. Should have hit the check down earlier to give Bell a chance. Or is Eli Rogers wide open? I know it's across the field technically, but you can make that throw. The hashes aren't that wide. Throw it outside shoulder. Linebacker's not going to get there. No way. Instead, Ben locks on to AB. Then he finally hits the check down to Le'Veon Bell. By that point, corners are driving on it. They have vision to the football. They know there's no vertical threat from AB. He's not running an actual go route, a 9 route. So they rally to the football. It's on Ben. Stuff's open. There's open receivers. Hit the check down. Eli just popped out a screen. It's on 7. Locking in too much on AB. So next drive, we're almost through the first half here. Let's find the next one. This one is drive starts with the pass. So again, not run pass. This becomes an RPO. That's a good play by Ben. Say a couple more RPOs in this game, which was good to see. But let's go back to the incompletions. This is I think 3rd down. And there's pressure, and that's a tough spot for a quarterback to be in. But Ben's got to make that throw to Bell. That's open in the flat. Let Bell in space. He's got one guy to make miss, and he can pick up that 1st down. Ben throws the football too far in front. Pass is incomplete. That's on him. That's a throw you got to make on 3rd down. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Ravens have a nice disguise. They're bluffing every gap. It leaves the end guy free. I mean, I get it. But it's a play you got to make. Who knows? Bell might do something or not, but you still made the smart play and you gave your guy a chance. Now the ball is incomplete. Now we'll never know. So start of the 3rd quarter now. Passing on the 2nd play. So again, not run pass. This ends up being a 4-yard gain, so I think we'll just skip this. This is again an RPO. Smart play. Actually, could have been 6 too. Tavon Young makes a fantastic play. Let's check it out real quick here at the top. AB could have housed that, but Young made a fantastic play. So credit to them. So now we're in 3rd and 5. We're in 3rd and manageable again. It's where you want to be for Ben and any offense, especially Ben that's a little banged up. It's a little bit of a low snap, but that's okay. Not the issue here. You get one-on-one coverage of the Bottom of the screen here, Sammy Coates against the corner, Jimmy Smith. You take that. You're going to take some shots in that situation. And Coates, I think, a little tangled up there trying to fight through that. Right, he's got to do a little job of being smoother and keeping his speed. But I mean, it almost became a completion. Coates separates at the very end, and there's room there. If that ball's on target, that's a touchdown. It's a good read by Ben. So not neither. Weddle's got his hips open to the field here. He's not able. He's got to do a zone turn to open up and get to number one. So you have a literal one-on-one matchup. The safety's not going to be able to make the play in time. And Weddle isn't. He's not. Doesn't have enough depth. He's got to do his zone turn, which is actually pretty good. But if that ball was there, Weddle ain't doing anything. It's a touchdown. Coates is walking in. So that's just you took advantage. You took a good matchup. It was a good read. You're throwing the deep ball downfield, sure, but everything else ends up being covered. It's gonna happen. You're gonna make the chance to play with the best chance, even if it's a deep ball. If it's your best chance, it's your best chance. Really nothing else open on that play, especially Weddle again, open into the field, trying to throw that crosser. Weddle might close on it. It was a good read. Now we're gonna go to the interception. Now things start getting dicey for Ben. I mean, this should not have been an interception. This is on Ben. This is entirely in first play pass, so it's not run pass. I'm going through it with you. I said 315 or run pass. That's a low percentage. It's probably about on average. But I mean, you got so many options here. Bell out of the flat, Coates on his fake smoke. They're trying to hit AB originally. Ravens doing a nice job of not biting, but okay, that's fine. We know they're not biting. That means they got Coates open. Or get the ball out to Jesse quicker. Ben's holding on to the football. He's double clutching. Doesn't know where to go with it. Not comfortable. And he throws it late. Defensive linemen are reading him now, knowing he's ready to throw. He's double clutching. They're getting ready. They're getting their hands up. Williams tips it. Jernigan comes down with it. I mean, Ben's got open guys in that play. He's got Jesse open on that play, too. They hit that play a couple times. That little hank route that Jesse James runs. But Ben's got to be quicker. Little double clutch right there. That'll do it. That's going to do it. The NFL, those little milliseconds like that. But again, Bell opened the flat. Coates opened the bottom. James is open if the ball comes out quick. Ben went to his second read. He got off his first read. That's good. But you didn't make that play quickly enough, and then kind of forced the ball a little bit. Not on Haley. Tell me what Haley did wrong on that play. Tell me what the design was so poor that it didn't give Ben a chance. I mean, I'm all ears. So now we're at another run pass. I think this is the last one. And again, I don't love it. Especially when it was 2nd and 14. They're running it, so they're 3rd and 12 now. Now you're still in 3rd and long. I think that's on Haley. I'm all ears on that. Like I said, there were times where they ran the football too much, and I think that was one of them. So now you're in 3rd and long. Not a good place to be. But again, Ben, I know you're trying to make a play, but there's nothing there, man. Cornerback's all over him. Send the play. Look for something else. Ends up being a crosser here. Now, I'm not trying to play the game of look at the open guy. How can you miss him? Hindsight's 2020. You don't know what progressions are, but I know that's not a progression. That's not an open receiver. I know it's AB. I know you're trying to get to him. But, man, the corner's got outside leverage. You're on the numbers. There's not a lot of space there. I mean, you got to get that ball elsewhere. You got to hold that ball and try to at least bring the ball down, try to create a scramble drill. It's 3rd and 12. See if you can get someone to break down. It's not a heavy rush. I think they rushed 4. I mean, it's a bluff. But there's not a lot of pressure. Ben can keep moving. Now you get that crosser potentially once he crosses the linebacker window. But that throw it's just nothing there. I don't mean it's, I think partly that's on Haley because I put him in 3rd and 12. But in that particular play, I think Ben's forcing that throw. So you can split the blame a little bit there. Again, I'm not trying to absolve Haley totally. I said that from the get-go. It's not a resume game. But this idea of predictable, I mean, it's all meaningless. Don't listen. If someone says they're predictable and and you ask them why. Someone says, how is Haley predictable? Ask them why. I bet you they can't give you an answer. Because they're not going through this stuff. It's just easy to say. It's convenient to say, no, Haley's predictable. Oh, it was a bad game. Oh, it was a game of yesteryear. It was, Rogel, hey diddle diddle, Rogel up the middle. I mean, those are all hacky stuff. We're not going to give you that here. And we'll go through a couple more of these plays here. I know this video is running long. If you're watching through it, I appreciate it. It's now 3 o'clock in the morning. This is not a well thought out plan by me because I gotta wait for this video to process. I'm not sure when this is going to go up, if I gotta stay up for this video to process on YouTube. But, it's just, it burns me up sometimes. Because you can look at it and, people can get away with by saying just whatever without any justification, without any verification. Make it whatever claim they want, and, no one goes through it. And it ends up being gospel. And that's how you get stuff like all the Bruce Arians hate and some of the Todd Haley, blowback in these games. And if you want to go with that and run with that and the narrative helps you out, I mean, That's all yours. Go crazy. I guess I can't change your mind. That's if you're watching this and you're still saying that's Haley, it's still his fault. I mean, I can't change your mind. And again, this is not a great game by Todd Haley. But it's important to go through this stuff, and you tell me, you're watching the tape, discard my opinion. What does he got to do better? This play here, I think it's the first and 10. Start of the fourth quarter. Yeah, it's his first and 10. I mean, look at all the throws underneath. Jesse open underneath. David Johnson open underneath. I mean, Bell ends up being open. Suggs makes a nice play, but you got options. You saying guys weren't open? I mean, I know it's just a check down, but that's going to be a positive play. And it's still, I think, what, 14-0 here at this point, or 13-0 at this point. So, you got a whole quarter here to get 13 points. It's doable. Let's get the play underneath, and Ben tries. I mean, he's not forcing it downfield, which thank goodness for that. It would have been picked, certainly. But that's not on Haley. I mean, Ben, kind of hesitates a little bit. Suggs makes a nice play. I'll give credit to Suggs there. That's a really good defense. But, that's you got to make that play. Someone's got to catch that ball underneath. You have some vertical concepts. The Ravens are playing deep. Make him pay for that prevent defense. That's right, we'd started out with. But again, not run, pass. Play here again. David Johnson. I mean, I know it's David Johnson, but you just hit a 15-yarder to him to start the game. How is Ben not checking it down? How is Ben not hitting David Johnson here? It's unreal. You got to make that play. You got to check it down. Now we're having a forced throw. The play gets called back. This is the Jesse James great catch. This is by far his best play of the game. Maybe his only good play of the game. But Ben takes a shot. He's taking unnecessary hits here. There's a nickel blitz. Hit David Johnson. He's open in the flat. I think my Game Pass is starting to slow down a little bit. It gets weird sometimes when you have this play-by-play up. It'll get choppy when you try to pause it. But, I mean, James makes a nice play. It doesn't really matter. It was all negated regardless. But, Ben's taking a shot there he doesn't have to take. End up getting a completion here to AB. But the penalty moves you behind the sticks. Not a place you want to be in. So we get a 3rd and 8 play. I don't remember what this one was, what this call was. Oh, this is a split dig to AB at the top. This is just a terrible throw by Ben. I mean, now I first looked at this and went, routes not too intertwined. I've talked about that before. Haley's one thing I think I want to see is more creativity. Have the routes be dependent on each other in the sense of there's not so independent. And we have a play later where I'll definitely show that and say this is a bad design. So I'm talking about, but this is a split dig. Now I think there's some individual problems here. Coach has got to sell this. He's got to sell this with all his heart. And I think he does a bad job. He kind of bleeds off at the top of his route. But this is a split dig. Landry Jones, go back and watch the 20 or 25 yard completion to AB against New England. Landry Jones had. That's the same concept against cover 3. And Landry hits it. And Ben is wildly behind. Not even close. Not in the same zip code. Not on Haley. Coach has got to do better. And Ben's got to do better for AB. Watch how behind this throw is. I mean, that's not even close. It's kind of a little hard to tell. Right there, but the clean pocket, it's not pressure issue. They pick up the stunt really well. It's a nice job by DeCastro. Clean pocket, throw is behind, and Coates got to do a better job as well because I think Weddle starts sitting on this dig. Probably because the smart player knows it's coming, but Coates has got to run through this. There's Coates in the slot here. A little wrinkle getting Coates inside, right? Rogers on the outside, but Coates at the top of that, he's bleeding off, man. He's looking back. You got to run through that like you're Usain Bolt. And so that's just a really bad throw, though, by Ben, and Coates has got some issues as well. But the concept is sound. They just hit this for 20, 25 yards against New England again 2 weeks ago. And now that throw is nowhere even close. Now they're forced to punt. Now it's the block punt. Now things start to unravel. I'll just go through a couple more plays here because they start hitting some chunk plays that show some positive stuff, so we're not going to look at that here. The whole next drive actually works out pretty well. I think this is the one I wanted to talk about where I do put some blame on Haley. We'll do this play, then I have one more I want to look at. It's to show that Haley had a great call. But this is one of those where I think the routes are getting a little dependent on each other, and this is 2nd and 21, so you're behind the sticks. This is after a sack, so I guess it's a tough spot to be in. But, something I don't like here is every route's kind of dependent. It's just kind of all deep curl kind of play. There's not a whole lot of underneath going on. Probably could have hit the check down the belt, probably should have, but, again, the route's a little too dependent or independent of each other. And if you're hearing a train go by, there's a train going by, so there you go at 3 o'clock in the morning. They run all night. It's not the most ideal situation, but yeah, I don't think this was, great. These are some of the calls I see from time to time from Haley, and I do get a little frustrated with because I'm like, what do you really have the chance on a three deep concept on second and 21? Nothing underneath, no crosser. There's no horizontal element to the play, and now it's like receivers are in a tough spot. So this is on Haley. We found one. We found one on Haley. There you go. All right, last one I want to look at here, and actually I wrote about this. This is a film room we did earlier in the week on Sammy Coates. If I can find the play. I didn't even look at this one ahead of time, so bear with me. It should be, there it is, finally. This is a great call by Haley. It's really well executed by receiver on the route. It's great throw by Ben. It's a chance to make this a 21-14 game. This is the old Indy post play. They love this play. Haley loves it. It's bread and butter. You're going to get a skinny post here. You're going to get a go ball here. You're going to get a couple crossers. And then bail out in the check down. Go check out the article. Just type in film room in the search bar for Steelers Depot, the one about Coates. It's a great call. Safety's being held by the tight end. Get the skinny post open. It's great throw by Ben. Coach can't make the play. Gotta make that play. Gotta make that play. Make it 21-14. Little pump fake holds him as well. It's a nice job. And Coach just drops it. Gotta make that. It's tough. It's a pretty difficult catch. I'm not gonna lie. But you gotta make that play. But that's a great call. That's a money call from Todd Haley. It's a great execution by Ben. This is probably the best throw he made the entire game. Now there's not a lot of competition there, but his best throw of the game, best read of the game. It's a great job. And Coach can't come up with it. And that's unfortunate. It's a play you got to make. So, I don't know. I know I've been going for a little bit longer. If you had stuck with me, appreciate it. We're over, oh man, we're over a half hour right now. I didn't mean to go that long in the video. But, again, Haley, not perfect. I'm not trying to say this is a great game. So everyone's got, everyone's at fault here. But to sit here and say he's predictable, he's run pass, guys aren't open, he's not adjusting. It's just, if you want to say it, fine. But you got to show me. Show don't tell. And not enough people do that, or they're trying to give you such little snippets and they don't provide context, and they're explaining it poorly, and just hoping that you don't think hard enough and critically enough to figure it out. And that's what we're talking about here with Todd Haley, is that I think he's overall done a great job in his tenure, done a great job, pretty good job at least this season. There's been some bumps, and I've talked about him. I had the video. You can go back and look at it on my YouTube channel where I criticized Haley pretty strongly after the Dolphins game. I think that was his worst game he's called. I don't think this was a terribly called game. I think it was a poorly executed game. I think it had some individual mistakes, but I think Ben was just flat out bad. And I think some other guys didn't step up. Coates, Jesse James, Eli Rogers was quiet throughout. Some of that's on Ben for not finding him. But other guys had to step up, and they didn't. And Ben had to step up in a big way, and he didn't. That's what it comes down to. I think Haley overall, I feel a lot better going through this the time before I recorded this and the time now than I did before. And hopefully you do too. I'm not doing that so we all feel great. I don't want to feel great, but just give you some clarity, some specificity. Specific examples, what went right, what went wrong, and what's the truth. Or at least as close as we're gonna get it from our outsider on our computer kind of view. So I'll shut up. I'm gonna wrap this up, but just if you hear that stuff predictable and didn't adjust, it's nonsense 9 times out of 10. Now, if if people showing you examples and going through specific stuff and can really break it down and add context, like we've done, I'm all for it. I'm not saying it's totally wrong all the time, but you got to bring more to the table than just a couple of words and hoping it's gospel. That's not right. That's not the way we do things here. That's why I'm glad you guys are watching. I'm glad you guys come to Steelers Depot, because we're trying to be transparent. We're trying to show, to the best of our abilities, what is the reality of the situation. Who's really at fault here, what went wrong, and the reality of it. And we do that based on watching tape for years and years now. And you can kind of build things up and get a little picture, a little window, a little peek into, maybe what they're thinking based on history and things like that. And so that's why we're able to do things like this and say, oh, this is Haley's 62, Indy Z post, or 62Z Indy post. And say, well, this is what happened to the play. This was the design. It worked well. And you could talk about that because we can have those specific examples to bring you guys. So anyway, Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Did it change your mind? Do you feel stronger about Haley calling a poor game, or do you kind of feel like me in it right now? And what do you want to see? How do you want to see this offense get it back on track? Because it has to, starting this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. So let me know in the comments below. Be sure to follow Steelers Depot, like our Facebook page, like my YouTube channel, Alex Azora as well for these videos. But definitely stick around for Steelers Depot to get this content first, and Facebook as well. If you like our Facebook page, you'll get some other videos that we do first before you do on Steelers Depot on the website itself. So be sure to like our Facebook page again, Steelers Depot. Just check it out. All right, thanks guys, and we'll talk to you soon.